Hello, everyone. Today I'll be going over bipolar disorder and some of the negative stigmas that surround. Things that will be discussed in this presentation are what bipolar disorder is, some of the negative stereotypes surrounding the disorder, portrayed by the media and other people's beliefs, things of that nature. I'll be giving some examples of these stereotypes. We'll talk about some statistics as well. And then, of course, the reference page. Disorder is a mental health condition that causes extreme mood swings that include emotional highs and lows. And when you become depressed, you may feel this individual may feel sad or even hopeless. When your mood shifts to the other spectrum, you may feel a sense of euphoria or more energetic. These mood swings can affect sleep, energy, activity, judgment, behavior, and also the ability to think clearly. These states of feelings may rarely occur, or they may happen several times a year. Most people will experience some emotional symptoms in between. However, some may not experience any at all. And bipolar disorder is a lifelong condition, but you can manage your mood swings and um, episodes and other symptoms by following a treatment plan. And in some cases, bipolar disorder is treated with medications and psychological counseling. Some of the negative stereotypes on bipolar disorder is that bipolar isn't serious. When someone downplays the seriousness of the disorder, they essentially minimize what an individual suffering from bipolar disorder deals with on a daily basis. And while there are different degrees of severity, it is still a disorder that someone has to live with, and jokes about the condition only add to the stigma around it. Some people tend to think that individuals who are diagnosed with bipolar disorder are violent. Another stereotype is that people with bipolar disorder can't function because their condition makes them lay in bed all day. Some people believe that people with this condition are more likely to commit a crime, and some people believe that bipolar disorder just means a person is extra moody. These are all myths and stereotypes that people have about this condition, and hopefully after this presentation there will be more of an understanding by those who may have some of these false beliefs about this very serious condition. This picture is from a show called Shameless. This is showing that someone dealing with bipolar disorder is more likely to commit a crime. In this show, this gentleman's name is Ian Gallagher, and he has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And this was one of his episodes that he lit a van on fire. And the fact of the matter is that people with bipolar disorder are no more violent than the general population, and are actually more likely to be victims of crimes than to commit. This is only one example from the show that's contributing to the negative stigma of this condition. There are also other examples from the show that have been criticized as well. In the movie Joker, it is never confirmed that the character in this movie deals specifically with bipolar disorder, but many people believe that this is the condition he suffers from because of the symptoms he displays throughout the movie. One of these symptoms are random fits of laughter, like in this picture. This confirms that there is a negative stereotype that people who have bipolar disorder are just very moody or can go from one state to another in the matter of seconds, when in fact this seldomly happens, and it isn't seen through fits of laughter like the one portrayed in this scene. Also, manic and depressive episodes are described as far more severe than regular mood swings. These episodes also happen less frequently than people think. The majority of people with bipolar disorder only experience manic and depressive episodes once or maybe even twice a year each. Statistics. It is estimated that between 25 and 60% of individuals living with bipolar disorder will attempt suicide once in their lives, and between 4 and 19% will complete suicide. So it is very important that we put a stop to the notion that bipolar disorder isn't a serious condition. As we can see from these numbers, people who deal with bipolar disorder need as much support as they can get. Oftentimes, they may feel alone because they feel as though other people don't care about what they're going through because they're misunderstood. Another statistic is 5.7 million Americans, um, or 2.6% of all adults, live with bipolar disorder. This goes to show that bipolar disorder is a lot more common than many people believe, and spreading awareness may lead to a better understanding of the condition, thus making people diagnosed feel better and more supported and more likely to seek the help that they need. Um, Another statistic is while it's difficult to differentiate from ADHD in children, bipolar disorder has been identified in children as young as 6 years old. So if we can start to understand this condition better, we may be able to identify it sooner. This is important because I feel like bullying in school is a huge issue. And growing up in school with a mental illness is one of the reasons children get bullied. And I feel as though a big reason for this is because kids don't understand why they act the way they do or feel the way they do, when in reality, they may be dealing with a mental illness they're not aware of yet. And finally, up to 60% of people with any mental health disorder, including bipolar disorder, develop substance abuse. Or substance use disorders. And in my opinion, we may be able to lower the number of people who develop substance abuse by raising awareness and making the condition more socially acceptable. Many people who have bipolar disorder may suffer in silence due to the fear of being judged or treated differently. This may lead to, numbing themselves or even abusing the medications they are given without or given to help with the symptoms. And if we can make this disorder more socially acceptable, people who are suffering with this condition may be more willing to get the treatment that they need outside of medication. And one of these treatments is cognitive behavioral therapy. Here's a list of the references I used when creating this presentation, and I hope this helps shed some light on the negative stereotypes and stigmas surrounding bipolar disorder and raise awareness for or about how we can make this more socially acceptable, leading to better treatment for individuals who may be scared to seek it. Thank you all for taking the time to watch.